Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Brother Carl. Tuned in to the realest conversations on the net. So sit back, relax, and you already know what to do. Talk to me. Brother Carl's on the scene. Real talk, good vibes, and everything in between. Hit that like, share the light, you know what it means. Subscribe, don't hide, join the fam, live the dream. Now talk to me when the truth gets told. Brother Carl in the chair, got wisdom, that's gold. You don't wanna miss a minute, nah, not at all. Hit that bell and the light, coming around with Carl. He bring the heat from the streets to the soul. Last love and lessons, yeah, we play that role. Coming down low, let your voice be heard. This the people show, powered up by the word. Talk to me. Brother Carl's on the scene. Real talk, good vibes, and everything in between. Hit that like, share the light, you know what it means. Subscribe, don't hide, join the fam, live the dream. You know the vibe. This is Talk to Me with Brother Carl. Every voice matters. Like, share, subscribe. Let's talk, let's grow, let's get it in. Good vibes, everything, hit that light, share the light, you know what it means. Subscribe, don't hide, join the fam, live the dream out. Live the dream, man. Just talk to me where the truth gets told. Brother Carl in the chair, got wisdom, that's gold. You don't wanna miss a minute, nah, not at all. Hit that bell and the light, come around with Carl. You bring the heat from the streets to the soul. Laughs, love, and lessons, yeah, we play that role. Coming down low, let your voice be heard. It's the people show, powered up by the word. Know the vibe. This is Talk to Me with Brother Carl. Every voice matters. Like, share, subscribe. Let's talk, let's grow, let's get it out. Bro, talk to me. Brother Carl's on the scene. Real talk, good vibes. This is Talk to Me with Brother Carl. Every voice matters. Like, share, subscribe. Let's talk, let's grow, let's get it in. Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Brother Carl. Tuned in to the realest conversations on the net. So sit back, relax, and you already know what to do.
And we're live, and your mic is hot.
There are three types of doors that you have to encounter. The first door is a manual door. It is a door that requires effort from you. You put your hand on the knob, you either pull or you push. That's the door that requires effort. And many of us are frustrated, irritated, and aggravated because it feels like every door we've been trying to open for ourselves has been taking all of the effort from us. But God says there's a second door that is a revolving door. Now this door is crazy because it requires no effort, but it does require timing. Because the revolving door does the work for you. But if you miss timing, you end up going in circles. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but the last 6 months of your life, you've been going through some unnecessary circles. And God is saying, I've already made a way. You got to make sure you get in my. The third door is an automatic door. Jesus. The third door does not require effort and it does not require timing. All you got to do is show up. Can I preach and declare the reason anxiety, depression, and frustration has been on you so heavy? Because the devil knows in this season, all you got to do is show up.
And your mic is hot, and we're live. And this is Brother Carl. And we're scheduled today to possibly entertain the idea of talking to the mayor of the city of Mangonia Park. You know, last week we had the opportunity to have some conversation with the mayor of Riviera Beach, Mr. Doug Lawson. And as a result of us having such a conversation, we are finally now, as African Americans, finally getting the opportunity to hear from some of our politicians that are supposedly in some kind of posture to assist us in our development. You know, over the course of the years, I've been involved with politics here in Palm Beach County for quite some time. I can remember with the first time we got a congressman, first time we got a county commissioner. I was messed up because I'm trying to entertain the idea of bringing Mr. Albury forward. and when we had Miss Mandy Dawson White and others, and we used to have a personal relationship between the black community and those who said that they wanted to vie for political office, and they always been able to. We had a relationship, but as a period of time, we lost that. You know, if you were like myself, an African American, you can't think of the last time that you heard anybody say anything really meaningful in any kind of structured way to assist us in our demise as they put the drugs and the guns and everything else on us and all of the land squeezing and all the other stuff. We haven't had the opportunity to talk to those who are in leadership role. And that was the aim and the purpose of this opportunity that we're trying to provide here. Talk to me is to bring these kind of voices forward so that we might be able to get some clarity, if you will, as it relates to what they're doing, what they're planning on doing, how it's going to affect us as a family. You know, as we prepare ourselves for this next school year, you know, I've been traveling around the county. We've had a lot of book bashes where people are passing out book bags. And they're doing a lot of wonderful stuff. I don't want to take that away from them. They cutting hair, doing nails, and passing out clothing and all of the other essentials that are necessary. But the only thing that troubles those of us that talk to me is that they're not talking about the education of our children and the process by which our children are being placed in when they get ready to go back to first, second, and third, and all of the grade levels. We still, as a community, don't have a relationship with the school district so that we could understand whether they are making progress, they are standing idle and not moving forward. And if they don't have any new tools, um, I'm sure we're going to have a problem. Now, I wanted to bring the mayor along first because I understand that many times we in the black community, we vote for these people, but that's all we do. We don't follow up with them. And many times, because we don't follow up with them, they take their services and they render them to other ethnic groups and omit us out of the conversation because we are not involved ourselves as a community with them to share with them some of the ideas that are needed inside of our community. You know, I had the pleasure of being for the mayor of the city of West Palm Beach. She her name was Miss Jerry Muyo, and she was the only mayor I can think of in the Palm Beach County that ever offered a advisory board to the African American community. And when she did such, she provided us with a lot of tenants, when that our community were making some kind of whole or some kind of gain. But then when we lost that connection and we brought in the black guy, he seemed to not want to have that kind of relationship, so he dispelled it. And since such time, we in Palm Beach County, I don't know of any other um, politician that has raised the issues of the Black community, the African American community, and none of the dialogue. And I brought to our understanding, I brought the county commissioner, Mr. Weiss, I brought Mr. Lane, I brought Ms. Branch, different people from throughout the school district and the county commissioners, and they come, but we can't seem to get the African American politicians engaged in a real conversation to address any of the problems that are plaguing our community. Now, I didn't have any intentions of coming here just running my mouth. I wanted to bring the mayor forward so that he could address some of the things that are happening in the city of Mangonia Park. And those of us who are from Palm Beach County, we know that Mangonia Park was always a little real, back in the day, it was a little hick town. When you go through there a little bit fast, if you didn't do the speed limit, you was gonna go to jail. And since such time, it developed a little bit further as the population grew and the different things that are taking place inside of that township has changed its culture and its structure. And I just wanted to try to bring the mayor on to see if he could tell us some of the wonderful things, just like our mayor out of Riviera Beach did. And I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask Tony if we could
Brother
pop.
Carl, I just got off the phone with the mayor.
o-
He wasn't getting the text, so I sent it to him on an email, so he should be coming on like any second.
Okay, well that goes to show you how God works, and I want to thank our producer, Mr. Anthony Brown, and I want to thank him sincerely for trying to make an attempt to assist the African American community in establishing some kind of real communication link inside of our county. Because when you look at our county, you know that we don't have too many voices that are earmarked to assist us in our struggle. But once again, I want to thank my producer, Anthony Brown, for his efforts in trying to bring some clarity to these things. We're trying right now at the present time to bring the mayor, William Albury III, from the township of Mangonia Park here in Palm Beach County. You know, it used to be 39 municipalities. I'm not sure how many we have now because from my understanding, they've added a couple of more. And now I think we're supposedly about 41 different cities inside of Palm Beach County. And Mangonia Park has always been very adjacent to the Black community. And I wanted to bring my big brother. I guess he's there now. I wanted to welcome you, Brother Albury, to a conversation with the African American community as we struggle with the ideas of trying to put together some new tools. As everybody else is making plans, we have hopes that we have some people inside of Palm Beach County that are making plans for our benefit. And I know that you are in that corridor of thinking. So I just wanted to bring you forward and ask you on this premise. You know, most of the people inside of the election process, we elect mayors, but none of us really know what a mayor do, right? And if you would just give us some kind of understanding of what the mayor do and what our relationship to the mayorship should be. Is he froze? Tony?
No, he's not frozen.
Well, he's not answering. I see his picture, but I don't see his conversation. And that's kind of troublesome. But I'm hoping that we can clear that up as soon as possible. But in the meantime, like I said, this is a conversation with the mayor of the city of Mangonia Park. And at some juncture in our development, we're going to have this conversation because I can see his picture, but for some reason we're having difficulty with our audio. And you got to understand that this is a new kind of podcast, one that we're trying to tie this over from the I don't know how many of you have been living in the state of Florida, but for I'd say about 15 years, we had a radio broadcast that covered 150 miles of the Florida East Coast, and it was known as "Talk to Me with Brother Carl and Janisha." And we're trying to fulfill that activity because we see that inside of the African American community, there's been some slowfulness as it relates to the communication apparatuses that are needed in our community. So we're trying to reestablish that, and we're making some mistakes, but we're hoping as we move forward in the future that we eliminate those things and we'll be able to flow a little bit easier. Because I've learned a little bit today that we won't be having this kind of problem.
Hold
And
on,
later
hold on,
on,
hold on, brother Carl. Mayor, if you can hear me, and if you're logging in through your phone, log off and then log back on. You're having technical difficulties on your end, so just log off, log back on.
and as we move that, I want to also remind people that we're scheduled possibly to have our big sister, Miss Maria Bishop, and she's the chief academic officer for the Palm Beach County School District. And I know that inside of Palm Beach County, we as a community we've had the opportunity to talk to the chief academic officer, but we didn't take advantage of it. You know, we brought our superintendent, some of our school board members, but we seem to have a disconnect between the community and those that are in charge of the stewardship of our children's life. And it's important that we establish that kind of communication because we got a big void in between what's happening in the community and what's happening with um, the learning experience of our children. So I'm hoping that later on, she's supposed to come on at 4:30, but I'm hoping that we can get the mayor in before we can get to Miss Bishop. May I see your picture, but it still look like you're frozen, but can I hear your voice? Tony, I'm still not receiving him. He went blank again to me. But like I say, this is a experimental, go for it. And to those of you who are listening, I pray sincerely that you understand the content in which we're trying to provide and be patient with us because you know that we don't have this kind of communication established nowhere. So it's going to take us a few difficulty factors attached first, I imagine, and for us to get this, because we're not doing a concert and partying and dance, so it's a little bit more complex as we move forward. Um, do we have the mayor as of yet?
I I see that he's moving, but he's very glitchy.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if I could just get his voice, I just needed to hear him say something so people can know that we're sincere about our effort.
Mayor, are you with us, Mayor?
Well, we got about 7 minutes before we're to bring this bishop on. I'm hoping that she might call a little bit earlier and she might have a clearer connection with her understanding of how to utilize this podcast activity. Um,
Hold on. Looks like
he's trying one more time. Come on, Mel. I'm praying for you, brother.
you can do this. You can do it,
I know he can. I know he can.
right?
And I'm just hoping that he does. If he doesn't, we still have tomorrow. I pray, but I'm hoping that we might be able to get some information. Because one of the things we were trying to achieve is that because we're getting ready to start the next school year, and this is the time of the year when everybody have their minds pointed toward education, and we understand that we've been miseducated, and we are now trying to engage and involve ourselves in the understanding of what it is that is needed for the African American community so we could stop some of the complaints about some of the activity that's been transpiring in the past. And now that we understand that we need the unity of our community, and we're trying to establish that by talking to those who are in the leadership roles, the leadership positions in our community that are supposed to provide us with such a opportunity. So once again, I see your picture. Are you alive now? How you doing, Doc? Unmute him.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Yes, my sincere apologies. I've been trying to log on now for the past 20 something minutes and was having technical difficulty. Okay, I
Mhm.
had to switch to a different device and so now I'm on.
Well, I'm just thankful to the Creator that He provided you the opportunity to share your beautiful face with us. And I wanted to go back to the initial question that I had posed initially. Inside of
Mhm.
our community, we hear about mayors, we talk to mayors, but we never really understand what a mayor do. And the reason why I say such is because I look at the problems that are plaguing the African American community with housing, with businesses, and with all those other things. It seems like we don't have a voice in that kind of understanding. And I just wanted to bring you so that you would tell us, what do a mayor do inside of Palm Beach County?
Certainly. I can give the perfunctory response, and that is to legislate. One, of course, the main responsibilities of a mayor is to ensure the safety and welfare of its citizens, its visitors, its businesses, and such, but also to make sure that the town is running effectively and efficiently, to make sure that the needs of the residents within their borders are attended to, ensure that infrastructure is there and necessary. Quite oftentimes, Brother Carl, what happens is that there are a lot of needs that a city has. And so the mayor, along with the council, town manager, and staff, has to prioritize. You take a list of things that are necessary and need to be done in order to ensure the efficiency and the effectiveness of the services being rendered. And with that, within certain budget constraints, you prioritize those list of things that you begin to do. For instance, like in the city of Mangonia Park, what may not be known is that for the most part, when Mangonia Park was first incorporated as a municipality, everyone was on septic tanks. Now, septic tanks back in the 40s was a great thing. You know, it worked and so forth. But as an example, as we progress and societies begin to progress and we get a little more advanced, it becomes necessary now to move away from certain things. And so what we did, we embarked upon a mission of securing grant dollars and other dollars necessary to begin to abandon all of those septic tanks and put all of our residents onto the city's septics as well as their water. Well water is fine and so forth, but just depending, as we know, aquifers, they shift from place to place. So while someone may have a well right now today providing water for their home, for cooking and whatever purposes, and it's free for the most part, when that aquifer shifts, then they may be pulling in sulfur, more water that's more predominantly sulfur than it is. You have the smell to it. Now, if that person is on septic, as an example, is still on well water, then the city has basically no responsibility. It's not a whole lot they can do other than give information. But once they tie into the city system, as we're doing now with the last of those in the Bryn Mawr section, then of course the municipality at that point in time has an obligation to ensure that the drinking water is safe. That's just sort of one example. I'll see if you have another question. If not, then I'll
No. I shared with everybody a little bit earlier about how the former mayor of the city of West Palm Beach, which is the largest municipality inside of the county, Ms. Jerry Muyo, she set up an African American advisory council. And as a result of doing such, I happened to be her educational committee chairperson for 3 consecutive years. And with the other committees that were operating, we had opportunity to have an input as it related to some of the things that were plaguing our community specifically. And I was just, when I brought you aboard and I brought Doug aboard, I had hopes that we could possibly, if we haven't in the past, we could possibly look at some of those kind of ideas, because I know for a fact it is very beneficial for us to be engaged in that kind of conversation. But I know that that's going to be a difficulty factor attached to it because of what we had to go through in West Palm Beach. But I see that we got inside of our conversation. I'm sure that you'll need this as well, Brother Mayor. We have Miss Marie Bishop, and she's our chief academic officer for the school district of Palm Beach County. And from my perspective, what makes us so vitally important right now is that we're getting ready to send thousands of children to the school centers in order to try to be imbued with knowledge and spirit and all that kind of stuff. And we were just looking from the African American community how we could partner with them in order to bring some closure to the multitude of complex problems that we've been having. And I just wanted to bring Ms. Bishop aboard so that she could tell us some of the wonderful things that Palm Beach County School District is preparing for our babies as they prepare themselves for the year 2025-26.
Okay.
Ms. Bishop.
Hi there, I was trying to unmute myself. Good afternoon, everyone. It's certainly a pleasure to be here with all of you. Thank you for inviting me to your program. I just have to start out by saying that we are so excited as we prepare to welcome back all of our students tomorrow. So it's really exciting. The teachers have been back in school for a week. They've been preparing their classrooms, making them look great, organizing everything, getting all their supplies ready to welcome the students back. I hope that by this point, all our families out there have been in communication with the schools. Many of our schools had like meet the teacher events this past week. And it was a good opportunity for the families to visit the school and in the classrooms. But we are really excited to welcome them back. And I just want to say to everyone watching here that make sure you get your students to school tomorrow. If for whatever reason you haven't had an opportunity to register your school yet, or you didn't attend the back to school, that's okay. Staff will be there tomorrow morning, ready to help and assist and get your boys and girls to their classrooms. And if you haven't registered yet, plenty of time. We're really pleased to welcome our youngest learners, our kindergartners, to school as well. So, and I think, our buses are ready to go, our routes, according to Mr. Sanchez, all of the routes have been filled. They all have a bus driver. And if the parents haven't done so yet, please go ahead and go onto our website and do the register your ride so that the families can register their students if they want them to ride the bus. That's really, really important.
I wanted to bring you aboard because I know that we as a community haven't been able to find any real partners, right? And I had talked to everybody at the school district a little bit earlier about if we were able to get somebody like Lamar Jackson or Coco Golf or Venus and Serena, we might be able to get some resources in order to support some of the community efforts that are necessary to partner with the school district. And I brought the mayor of the city of Mangonia Park as our brother so that he could better understand some of the needs, because I know that most time I appear out there and I always be by myself. And I'm just trying to get some more people to understand that there is a serious need for them to engage and how they can engage with some specificity as it relates to our problem. And I wanted to ask you the biggest question inside of the African American community is what is happening with the African and African American curriculum department where Mr. Knowles is no longer there. It would be important to us to know because that person that is in charge of the African and African American curriculum, that person has a responsibility to ensure that the Florida law is being fulfilled inside of this county, and that position is important for us. So, if you could tell us anything about that, Ms. Bishop, we appreciate that.
Sure, of course. So we do still have that position vacant. It has been advertised. We went through one cycle of advertisement. We went through the interview process, but unfortunately we didn't select, there wasn't a candidate for us to select. We really, it is such an important position that we want to make sure we get the right person in that position. It is a manager of African American studies, also Holocaust studies, and also Latino studies. But big concentration is on African American studies. In the meanwhile, we do have a specialist working in that role right now. Under that role, we are, as part of our curriculum under secondary, things are still going on, is what I want to say. While we are waiting for that, we are all doing a little extra, pitching in a little extra to make sure that our work continues in that field. We did recently, over the summer, have our summer institute. It was our 31st summer institute. We did have that. We, again, all pitched in. So currently it is advertised. So if anyone out there knows someone who is interested in coming in, it is an instructional position. It is a position that they need to have a master's degree and they must have a teacher certificate. But all the criteria is listed on our district website. So if you know someone or someone out there is interested in coming on board with us and working with us, we are looking, and we've been very creative too, as far as we've posted externally, internally the position. We are on various platforms too, trying to go to a national level to make sure that we are opening the doors and we find that talent that's out there to come and work with us in this important position.
Well, that's the reason why we brought our big brother, the mayor, because we understand that mayors have influence in a city municipal, well, in the county, and we wanted to bring some new voices to the idea. But I just wanted you to introduce it to them because many times I mean, I've been doing it so long, people take it for granted that I'm just doing the same thing over and over. And I understand what cognitive dissonance is and how our people are suffering from the idea of they think that they know and they don't know. So I'm just trying to find us some new friends, just like we asked for Lamar Jackson and Coco and the rest of them, Tiger Wood. We're asking for the politicians, the preachers, and everybody else. And just so happened that our mayor happened to be a pastor as well, right? So
Well,
what we're trying to do is just trying to tie everything together, not out of you know how people always have these separations. What we're trying to do is add all of the love and the respect together so that we can all start this year, 2025, working together and really bringing about some real results for our community. You had something to say, Brother Man? I apologize.
Yes, so two things. Number one is I always appreciate that Brother Carl is always trying to elevate me to the position of pastor. But I don't want to do a dishonor to pastors, which I'm not. I'm just a local elder in the church. But I did want to add, as it relates to the educational piece of it, one of the things that I'm so proud of in Mangonia Park is that every summer we engaged some years ago, and we have a reading program. Now, we've extended that reading program outside of the borders of Mangonia Park. And as much as the venue will hold about 45, 50 kids, we have about 45 or 50 kids every summer. This past summer, of course, we had one child that left an indelible mark on me. I didn't know at the time that I had gone over to visit that he was autistic. Um, but his mom brought him along with his sisters. And at the very end of it, I know time is limited, so I won't go through the whole of it. But at the very end, the day before the program ended, he wanted to present. This was a child who was bashful and introverted, because of the disease state
Mhm.
itself, and he had written a letter stating how effective the program was and what the difference it had made in him. There are times, and I'll share with you that mayors do cry. It brought a tear to my eye. I had to kind of keep my composure as he read that beautiful letter, just thanking us for all that he had done. He wrote it all by himself. His parents did not participate. They were shocked that he had the ability to write such a letter and then to articulate it in word. And so we have, and then too, from a male perspective, each summer when we look at our census, about 55% of them are male. I'll say that again, about 55% are male of that 45 to 50. And we know how critical that is to make sure that we're bringing in our males to be a part of some things. In addition to that, we've had a few over the years, and we won't take the credit that they've gone off to college, but they have reached back and said, because of the difference you made, I was able to get into college and so forth. Keep in mind, too, that we have three individuals there. They're all three educators. So we don't just drag somebody off the street. We bring in educators here in the Palm Beach County school system that we use during that period of time. In addition to that, we have partnered some years back with the Palm Beach County Library System. So we have a satellite a library there at the town where we have books and resources and computers that our kids can use as well. We're extending that program, and I, as a mayor, and I fully understand as well, we all do, that there's some limitations. I'm a product of Palm Beach County school systems, a public school system. But we know that after the classroom closes for at 3, 2:30, whatever time, there's still some time needed that child needs to be focused on, and that the additional trainings and such need to happen. So we've opened up the resource center so that we hired a recreation coordinator. So we moved that position on Tuesdays and Thursdays for now, up from the regular 8 to 4 to like 10 to 6. Because we know that by the time the kids get off the bus, get home, whatever the case may be, we've now closed. So we want to be available to them to continue the tutoring that we've done. So there are creative things that we're doing. And in addition to that, we partner with the Inlet Grove as well. And we'll partner with the Palm Beach County School System, anyone, because we realize how important it is that our kids are educated.
And that was the reason why I wanted to bring you forward, Brother Mayor, because we, like I said initially, we in the African American community don't hear from no politicians, whether they're African American or nobody. Nobody speaks with no specificity as it relates to our problem. And as we move forward, I'm hoping that we understood what you said, because to me, it's like you're another part of the body in Palm Beach County as we try to build a real mind for our children. It's absolutely necessary, and we need your kind of example to give to others, to share with them that it's nothing wrong with helping our babies. For whatever the reason might be, it seems to be an impediment, always impede our progress. But I'm hoping that this year, because we have the connection with, here you go, as the city, I've been going to the school board and speaking with specificity as it related to Riviera Beach, because that's where I reside. But I'm seeing you come along as another mayor that gives us a little bit momentum as we continue to start the process of moving forward. And then to have Miss Bishop here with her hands behind the wheel, I have hopes that we can start some new conversation and some new direction inside of our community. Because one of the biggest problems that I see, many times we have people speaking on things that they don't have any true knowledge about, and it continues to give us problems. So as we partner with the school district, we partner with the politicians. I'm hoping that eventually we'll have a pastor, because we have a pastor's a church proposal that has been developed as a result of our relationship with the school district. And another thing that I wanted to ask you about, Ms. Bishop, the superintendent task force for African American children, particularly the African American male child, I know it was kind of put back on the shelf, but what are the possibilities of us getting that back into the community? Because that was a lot of work that was done by the school district in our community, and a lot of great work that I think if we leave it on the shelf, we'll have to reduplicate it when we already done develop. Where's that coming at right now?
Hi, but first I just want to say something. Mayor, I love the work that you're doing and all the reading. Our boys and girls, they need that extra support after school, homework and enrichment and summer. You want to make sure they continue all the work. So thank you. And I'd love to come visit and partner with you. So if you need any resources or anything, we can touch base. And like Brother Carl said, we'd love to use us as a model for other communities to continue that as well. Hopefully I'm in a home. I'm sorry if it's a little bit loud here. But Brother Carl, I can go back and look into that to see exactly where we are. I don't have that information right now with me. And let me bring that back to the district, and I will respond to you once I have that information.
No, I understand how difficult that is, because we've been working on that for like 40 years. And I could see, I've been through like maybe about 10 different superintendents. I don't know how many school board members. And I also understand that when people come in and they're not knowledgeable, then they have their ideas that they want to develop something new. But I can assure everybody that we've already passed all of those milestones of anger and all the other kind of stuff that is needed in order to make improvements. And I do believe that the superintendent task force for African and African American children, I think that's the best uh, tool that can be utilized for the development of our community, because everything in that document that we did along with the school district, it was directed toward us. And I know the benefit of it, but I know that we haven't had any partners that can elevate or have a conversation, put us in the conversation. This is what I'm talking to you, Brother Mayor. We need some new energy inside of our community, and we need those who have the respectable position, if they would take on such a challenge like what you've already done today. And I'm glad to see now that you and Ms. Bishop will be working together. So that goes to show me that we got some improvements already as we start this next school year for tomorrow.
Absolutely, and I look forward to it. One of the things I would add as well is that there's an old saying that I was taught as a child there in church: brighten the corner where you are. And it only takes a spark to get a fire going. So quite oftentimes we look at big plans, and we become complacent when we can't implement those big plans. So my point being that quite oftentimes you just start small. And if every one person starts small and add it all to the bucket, then you have a big project, you have a big outcome, you have a big thing going. And so I would encourage anyone to just get started, right? Just start, because it is critical. Because if you make a difference in the life of one or two kids as you go along, as opposed to 500, that which may be the objective, eventually you'll get there. And so yes, I'm amenable to partnering with anyone, but we got to understand, and it's incumbent upon us to understand that the reticence of the past is eroding. I think the consciousness of individuals, if it's just my kind of exposure is any testament to it, is that people are at a point now where it's enough. We now need to begin to do things to empower our communities and to become more educated. And education is the key. Um, there was an old saying when I was coming on: reading is fundamental. We know that it all starts there, and then with math and science and so forth, which we do as well. But the most important thing is to make sure that we begin to reach out. If it means starting small, start small. Just start is the most important
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, I watch how they do with NBA basketball and NFL. They spend a lot of money on advertising and promoting in order to get people to think a certain way. But I do believe that the relationship that the school district of Palm Beach County and the African American community has had since 1994, a little bit before that, it has been sincere at moments, and it has really produced some real serious products that, because I'm on the state task force as well for African American history, I know that we've always garnered respect. In fact, that's how we acquired the idea of being exemplary, because of the love and respect that came from Palm Beach County. I just think it's time for us to spend a little time and a little resources and a little connection with one another, so that we can share this kind of information with everybody else and possibly get some changes made that everybody is so in dire need of. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Well, I just want to thank everybody for stopping by. I don't want to keep you long, and I didn't want to bring this. I didn't want to bring you in, Sister, with it, and make it appear as if I was just going to come at you like most of the time when people get in an argument because there's so much failure. they never can really see the successes. And I'm just hoping that we can move on the success premise now. And now that I know that there are two people inside of Palm Beach County, well, there's really three, because our mayor from the city of Riviera Beach, along with our city council person, Ms. Lanier, hopefully we can establish a team. And by the time we hire someone to be the person in charge of the African and African American curriculum, we can all come together and really share some love so that we can share it with our children and move ourselves forward without all of that foolishness about arguing and all that kind of stuff that people always try to perpetuate in our dialogue. So I'm hoping that we done past that. And thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Big Sister, for y'all efforts and what y'all are doing. Now I know you got something to say before we get out of here. You know, what you going to this sister to go first, brother? All right. What you got to say before we get out of here, Big Sister?
It's me. Okay. I just wanted to say that again, I appreciate this opportunity for us to speak and address the community at large. I do want just you to know that we are very open and willing to partner up with all of you to benefit our kids, our students. I always say that, when I was principal, I used to say that once the parents dropped their students off at the school at the door, they became my children as well. And so we want to ensure you that our goal is to make sure that every single one of our students is successful and lives up to their potential. And so please, we're open and wanting to work with all of you. And for the parents out there, I want to wish you good luck and an excellent first day. And please know that partner up with us, communicate with the teachers. You are your child's best advocate. And so if you have questions, if or anything, you want to check on your child's progress, please reach out to your child's teacher, the principal. That's your job, to work with all of you and to make sure that that our children and that you're aware of where they are and what their next steps are, and make sure they come to school regularly. That is the number one way to help our students, to make sure that they're in attendance every single day. So have a great week for first day of school, and I'm always here to assist when necessary and to partner up with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Brother Mel? Unmute yourself. Unmute
My
yourself.
apologies. My apologies. I was just echoing the sentiments expressed by Ms. Bishop. I totally agree. And in short, some years ago, and for quite a few years, I used to be in and out of the schools through our whole 6-county area, Indian River, Okeechobee, all the way down to Broward. And one of the things, of course, we used to pay for services. I work with the Agency for Health Administration, ACA. And so we had Medicaid in the schools and so forth. And I used to run the program. And one of the things that I used to see all the time, and this is not an indictment or anything else, but just an encouragement, as she was stating to our parents, be involved. I would look at IEPs and I would see the signatures of all of the educational members, but I wouldn't see parent signatures. And that was about 70% of the time. And so it's real important that parents, if there's any parents, be involved. Be one of those parents. As I used to show up, my kids were in public school, the only male there, but I showed up. And because it was critical that we be involved in that. And the last thing I'll say is that to make sure that we can eradicate any disagreements, for the call, we're going to give you a FAMU shirt. No offense to all of the Bethune-Cookman brothers out there and sisters, but we're going to give you a FAMU Rattler shirt, okay? And then I know we're going to be effective when we give you that.
Well, I want to say before we get out of here, the superintendent task force that I asked Ms. Bishop about, it has a whole plan for parent and school activity, because that was the first problem that we received when we first started our relationship, that we understood that parents had a problem with coming to the school and navigating their children direction. And we have some real simple ways that people can understand that. And as we move forward, that's the kind of training and orientation that I'm telling you that we're going to have to engage in, and it's just going to take us a little time. But I want to thank y'all again for stopping by this Sunday. The podcast is called Talk to Me. It's the talk show that loves to talk to you about the reality of things that are in this life as we as human beings try to navigate ourselves to success and peace. I want to thank you again for stopping by. And thank our producer, Anthony Brown for all of his efforts, and you see how much difficulty he's been having trying to get us on the air.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I just want to add, hold on. Chantel says, I guess she's a FAMU alumni as well.
Oh, she want to mess with my Cookman shirt on.
But you're welcome.
We'll be
Brother
all
Carl.
right. Love y'all, family, and it be God's will. We'll be back next week with someone exciting, someone that is influential in Palm Beach County that are supposed to be accountable for the stewardship of our life. We're hoping to bring some others forward so that we can continue to build a team that we'll be proud of by the end of the year, or hopefully by the time Christmas comes, we can give ourselves a good Christmas gift, bringing some clarity to the human problem. Thank y'all for joining us, and we gone.
Certainly, anytime. Okay.
Good night.
All right.
Yeah, that's a rap family. You already know what it is. Talk to me with Brother Carl. We do this every Sunday, 4 p.m. sharp. Don't keep it to yourself. Spread that love. Don't keep it to yourself. Spread that love. Oh, thanks for watching. We appreciate the view. Every like, every comment, every word from you. Same time, same place. Next week's the vibe. So don't forget to hit subscribe.
Get out of here, y'all.
Drop a line, let us know what's good. From the city to the screen, we reppin' the hood. Wisdom, faith, and love in the game we lace. See you next week, same vibe, same place. Talk to me, yeah, we keep it real. Brother Carl on the mic, got that soul you feel. Next Sunday we ride, same truth, same thrill. So until next time, peace, love, and God's will. Yo, drop a line, let us know what's good. From the city to the screen, we reppin' the hood. Wisdom, faith, and love, in the game we lace. See you next week, same vibe, same place. Talk to me, yeah. This is Brother Carl signing out. Stay blessed, don't forget, Sunday at 4, see you there. Yeah, drop a line, let us know what's good. From the city to the screen, we reppin' the hood. Wisdom, faith, and love, in the game we lace. See you next week, same vibe, same place.